Hi everyone, Kendall here, and welcome to or back to my channel for another week of What's in Your Closet, the sew-along hosted by Pat Sloan at her website, ilovetomakequilts.com. Hand-me-downs, pre-loved garments. Did you end up with any of your elder siblings' pre-loved clothing? I didn't so much because I only have an older sister, but my mother did occasionally, and I still do, shop through the thrift store. It's a great economical way of getting some new items for your wardrobe. Share your story of hand-me-downs when you share your blog over at Pat's Facebook group, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. If you haven't done so already, jump over to Pat's website, download this week's free pattern, come back here, and I'll show you how I do it. No changes or alterations to the way the fabrics are cut out this week, folks. We are simply going to follow the pattern and cut all our light, medium and dark fabrics. Remembering that in my examples, my medium fabric is the red and my dark fabric is that dark blue. So with all of our pieces and parts cut out, we can begin. And we're going to begin where we begin every week by making our required half square triangles. For this, we need to grab our two larger background squares or light fabric and our two medium squares. We're going to take our pencil and a ruler and draw a diagonal line in one direction on the back of our background / light fabric. We're then going to match this up right sides together with our medium fabric, take it to our machine and stitch 1/4 inch on each side of the drawn line. With our stitching now done, as always, I like to press these first to just set those seams before I cut them in half on our drawn line, and then we will press all of these to the dark side. Because we don't need to worry about these half square triangles nesting with anything else, we can just press in the one direction, no special instructions. Once these are all pressed to the dark side, we will trim them down. Like everything in life and with quilting, there are as many different ways to do things as there are people. Once again though, you'll see here I've pulled in my rotating mat and I still have my trusty makeshift block lock ruler. With the 3 layers of painter's tape along that diagonal, it butts up nicely on our pressed over seam and I'm able to just trim all 4 sides without having to move anything. Because we only have 4 little half square triangles to trim down in this instance, I don't need to do them 2 at a time because I think I have the patience to do just 4 half square triangles. Now time to pull in our 4 dark squares and our smaller light rectangles. We should have 1 long one, 2 shorter ones in our light, and then our 4 dark squares. We'll lay these out as per the pattern, and we need to make that top and bottom unit first by sewing that light piece into the center. I'm using grunge, and sometimes on the light grunge, the grungy part doesn't show up that much. And over to the right there, I'm just changing my foot back over to my 1/4 inch foot. Nothing to see here. So we are just going to make the top and bottom units by sewing that small light strip in the center of these two, and then we need to attach them to the top and the bottom of our longer strip. We need to make sure that we line up those small light strips when we get to that, and hopefully I show you a trick in the video. For all of this, we are going to press in towards the lighter strip. I don't know why, it's just what I did. Okay, so we've sewn our longer strip on one side and now we just need to match these up, and all I do, so there's no actual trick in this footage, there is a little trick, but maybe I can show that in a future video. I just line up those seam allowances the best I can and pin that into place to make sure that it doesn't shift. Because this is a smaller block, any variation or uneven matching will be very visible, so do your best to line that up. The other trick that I have, as I said, maybe I'll need to show that in a future video. I'm sorry that I didn't do it in this one. Sometimes when I'm sewing these blocks and filming what I'm doing, I'm not really thinking ahead. And yeah, so I do apologize for that, but we do our best to line that up, and I can see that I am off by just a little bit, I think. Get out of the way, iron. Move your hand. Let's see how we went. Yeah, so that looks the tiniest bit off, but that's okay. That's just my very critical eye. Do your best to line those up. We're now going to pull in all of our pieces, including our half square triangles, and lay this block out as per the pattern, and then it goes together in a simple 9-patch construction. We'll start by sewing all of our vertical seams and then our horizontal seams. In these instances, we will press in towards those sashing pieces on the top and the bottom, and out towards the sashing pieces on that center row. This is the path of least resistance and makes the most sense for a less bulky block. With all of our vertical seams sewn, we now just need to do our 2 horizontal seams, and you'll notice because of the way we chose to press this, which is a time I think ahead, which makes no sense to what I said earlier, all of our intersections here will nest, and we'll sew these 2 horizontal seams and do our final pressing. I'm not sure at this point which way I press, but we will see. By reviewing that footage as I'm doing this voiceover, I press towards the center of the block. So press towards the center of the block on both of your horizontal seams, and the block for this week is done. Everyone, thank you so much for being here and joining me for another fun-filled week of how-to step-by-step tutorials. I really do enjoy putting these together, and I would love for you to leave me a comment in the box below. It really helps me out, and it's a great way of engaging with you all. Also, while you're there, put the little thumbs up for me, will ya? Subscribe if you haven't already done so, and tickle that little bell icon to be notified of all my future releases. I will see you all again real soon. Bye for now.